We both knew that we were mad for different reasons. For a moment we just stood there, looking down at the dead bird. "It's just a little sparrow," he said, and then he started to cry. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there and watched him. We walked back across the street and sat on his front porch. He tossed his tennis shoes across the street with all his might and anger. He wiped the tears from his face. "Were you scared?" he asked. "No, I was." "So?" And then we were quiet again. I hated the quiet. Finally I just asked a stupid question. "Why do birds exist anyway?" He looked at me. "You don't know?" "I guess I don't." "Birds exist to teach us things about the sky." "You believe that?" "Yes." I wanted to tell him not to cry any more, tell him that what those boys did to that bird didn't matter. But I knew it did matter. It mattered to Dante. And anyway, it didn't do any good to tell him not to cry, because he needed to cry. That's the way he was. And then finally he stopped. He took a deep breath and looked at me. "Will you help me bury the bird?" "Sure." We got a shovel from his father's garage and walked to the park where the dead bird was lying on the grass. I picked up the bird with a shovel and carried it across the street into Dante's backyard. I dug a hole underneath a big oleander. We put the bird in the hole and buried it. Neither of us said a word. Dante was crying again, and I felt mean because I didn't feel like crying. I didn't really feel anything for the bird. It was just a bird. Maybe the bird didn't deserve to get shot by some stupid kid whose idea of fun was shooting at things, but it was still just a bird. I was harder than Dante. I think I'd tried to hide that hardness from him because I'd wanted him to like me, but now he knew that I was hard. And maybe that was okay. Maybe he could like the fact that I was hard, just as I liked the fact that he wasn't hard. We both stared at the bird's grave. "Thanks," he said. "Sure," I said. I knew he wanted to be alone. "Hey," I whispered, "I'll see you tomorrow." "We'll go swimming," he said. "Yeah, we'll go swimming." There was a tear running down his cheek. It seemed like a river in the light of the setting sun. I wondered what it was like to be the kind of guy that cried over the death of a bird. I waved by. He waved by back. As I walked home, I thought about birds and the meaning of their existence. Dante had an answer. I didn't. I didn't have any idea as to why birds existed. I'd never even asked myself the question. Dante's answer made sense to me. If we studied birds, maybe we could learn to be free. I think that's what he was saying. I had a philosopher's name. What was my answer? Why didn't I have an answer? And why was it that some guys had tears in them and some had no tears at all? Different boys lived by different rules. When I got home, I sat on my front porch. I watched the sunset. I felt alone, but not in a bad way. I really liked being alone. Maybe I liked it too much. Maybe my father was like that too. I thought of Dante and I wondered about him. And it seemed to me that Dante's face was a map of the world, a world without any darkness. Wow! A world without darkness! How beautiful was that?